Welcome back to part 2. If part 1 was heat, these final 9 are absolute solar flares. We're finishing our deep dive into the 18 most underrated god-tier gems hidden in the Netflix library. From legendary stealth icons to brutal sci-fi reboots, we're counting down from 9 all the way to our number 1 spot. Let's jump straight into it. Starting our final countdown at number 9, we have the return of the legendary Major Motoko Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045. While the 3D animation style was a bit controversial at first, once you get past the visuals, you'll realize the writing is pure, high-level Ghost in the Shell. It tackles sustainable war, global economics, and the evolution of post-humans in a way that feels incredibly prophetic for the world we're living in right now. The tactical combat is as sharp as ever, and seeing Section 9 back together feels like a massive win for any Cyberpunk fan. It's a deep intellectual dive into what it means to be human in a fully digitized world, filled with the philosophical monologues and high-tech espionage the series is known for. It's the perfect way to start this half of the list, a show that challenges your brain just as much as it entertains you. Peak Cyberpunk. On number 8, we have Moonrise, a sci-fi epic that takes the battle for survival to the lunar surface. Set in the future where the Earth and Moon are at odds, it follows characters caught in the middle of a brewing revolution. The character designs by Hiromu Arakawa, the creator of Full Metal Alchemist, give the show an instant sense of personality and charm, even when the stakes are life and death. The show excels at depicting the harsh reality of living in space. It's not all sleek ships and easy travel. It's about the grit, the engineering, and the political tension of a new frontier. The action scenes in low gravity are creatively choreographed and visually distinct from your typical Earthbound fights. It's a smart, character-driven sci-fi that feels grounded while still giving us that grand-scale space opera energy we all crave. Coming in at number 7 is Vampire in the Garden, a beautiful but tragic story from WIT Studio. In a world where humans and vampires are at constant war, a human girl and a vampire queen find themselves forming an unlikely bond. They run away together in search of paradise, a place where both species can coexist in peace. It's a short series, but it packs more emotional punch in 5 episodes than most shows do in 50. The animation is breathtakingly beautiful, with snowy landscapes and hauntingly elegant character designs. It's a melancholic, poetic look at prejudice and the desire for freedom in a world that only wants to destroy. You'll go from being amazed by the art to being absolutely heartbroken by the story in record time. It's a hidden gem in the truest sense of the word, and it's one of those rare shows that stays with you long after the credits roll. At number 6, Spriggan is an action-packed ride about secret agents protecting ancient, out-of-place artifacts from being used as weapons of mass destruction. Think Indiana Jones, but with high-tech power suits and insane martial arts. The protagonist, Yu Omine, is a teenage super soldier who travels the globe to shut down paramilitary groups and supernatural threats. The production by David Production, the studio behind JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, ensures that the action is constant and high quality. The show feels like a throwback to the 90s super action era, but with modern, crisp animation. It's fast, it's loud, and it doesn't care about being deep. It just wants to show you cool tech and explosive fights. Each episode feels like a mini-movie with a different global setting and a new ancient mystery to solve. If you want a show that's pure adrenaline from start to finish with zero fluff, Spriggan is the one. Breaking into the top 5, we're throwing it back to a dark fantasy legend, Claymore. This show is set in a world where humans are hunted by Yoma, shape-shifting monsters that feed on flesh. The only ones who can fight back are the Claymores, half-human, half-Yoma warriors who carry these massive swords and are treated as outcasts by the very people they protect. It is cold, atmospheric, and features some of the most iconic sword fights in the genre. Even though it's an older title, the story of Claire and her journey for revenge still hits incredibly hard today. The power system, where the warriors risk turning into monsters themselves if they use too much energy, creates a constant sense of dread. It's a classic sign-in experience that doesn't hold back on the gore or the emotional weight. If you're a fan of Berserk or The Witcher, this is mandatory viewing for your dark fantasy fix. On number 4, we're heading to the Tevinter Imperium in Dragon Age Absolution. This series follows a group of misfits and mercenaries attempting a high-stakes heist to steal a dangerous blood magic artifact. If you like Dungeons & Dragons or The Dragon Prince, this is like the older, more violent sibling. It's packed with snarky dialogue, diverse characters, and some of the most creative magic combat I've seen in a fantasy anime. The show does a great job of exploring the shades of gray in the Dragon Age universe. No one is purely good or evil. Everyone has a secret or a trauma that drives them. The animation is vibrant and fast-paced, making the spellcasting look absolutely devastating on screen. It's a short, punchy season that leaves you wanting way more, and it's the perfect entry point for anyone curious about the lore of the games. Taking the bronze at number 3, Sam Fisher finally makes his animated debut in Splinter Cell Deathwatch, and it was worth the wait. This isn't just a generic shooter, it's a masterclass in stealth and tension. We follow Sam as he operates in the shadows of a global conspiracy, using high-tech gadgets and sheer grit to stop a brewing world war. The animation nails the interrogation vibe and the lethal precision of Sam's movements, making every stealth takedown feel incredibly satisfying. What's even better is how it handles the weight of Sam's age and his complicated relationship with Fourth Echelon. It feels like a mature spy thriller that respects the source material while bringing that modern aura to the stealth genre. The voice acting is top tier, and the lighting, which is everything in a Splinter Cell project, is used perfectly to create a mood that is both claustrophobic and cool. It's the ultimate love letter to the fans who have been waiting years for Sam's return. At the number 2 spot, Terminator Zero takes the legendary sci-fi franchise and gives it a haunting Japanese animated makeover that honestly clears the last few movies. Set in Tokyo during the 90s, it follows a scientist trying to launch an AI that can rival Skynet, all while being hunted by a relentless Terminator from the future. It strips away the Hollywood explosion tropes and returns to the series' roots as a literal slasher horror story. The suspense is suffocating, and the animation makes the machines feel terrifying again. The real flex here is the philosophical depth. It explores the cycle of human violence and whether humanity actually deserves to be saved, framed through the eyes of a machine that doesn't feel pity or remorse. It's dark, it's bloody, and it treats the Terminator like a true unstoppable monster. If you felt let down by the recent films, this is the Terminator story we've been waiting for since Judgment Day. It's a total mood and a must-watch. And finally, at number 1, we have DOTA, Dragon's Blood. This isn't just some generic game adaptation, it's a high fantasy epic that dives deep into the lore of Davion the Dragon Knight. The story starts with a simple hunt, but quickly spirals into a cosmic battle involving gods, elves, and ancient dragons that are basically forces of nature. The animation by Studio Mir, the legends behind Legend of Korra, is fluid, sharp, and handles the massive dragon fights with insane scale. What really makes this show take the top spot is how it handles its mature themes. It's not just about flashy magic, it deals with political corruption, loss of faith, and the heavy price of power. The characters, like Princess Mirana and the Invoker, have complex motivations that keep you guessing. Whether you've played the game for 1,000 hours or never touched a MOBA in your life, the world building here is strong enough to pull you in and keep you hooked for all 3 seasons. It's peak Netflix animation. And that's a wrap. We've officially covered all 18 of the best, most underrated, and straight-up essential animation titles on Netflix. From the historical bloodbaths to the digital future, there's enough here to keep your watch list full for the rest of the year. But I want to know, which of these Part 2 shows are you most hyped for? Is it the return of Sam Fisher or the dark vibes of Terminator Zero? Drop a comment below, I'll be checking them out. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.